Welcome to Ransom Spares. Today Kevin's going to show you how to fit a new motor to a Dyson DC14 vacuum cleaner. First of all, he's going to remove the bin. Turning the vacuum cleaner onto its back, Kevin can now prise away the exhaust filter cover. He can now turn the vacuum cleaner onto its handle, which gains access to the bottom of the machine. And there's three retaining nuts that need turning a quarter of a turn as follows. This will then enable Kevin to remove the sole plate, which gains access to the brush roll. He then needs to remove the axle from the brush roll as follows, and then remove the end of the brush roll. With these removed, he can now prise away by twisting the brush roll from underneath the belt. Next, Kevin will remove the U-bend, the internal hose, and then he can ease away the brush housing assembly like so. Kevin can now remove the 6 screws as follows, and also a remaining screw which holds on the clutch cover. With this screw removed, the clutch cover can be taken away as follows. Next, Kevin needs to remove the cleaner head pivot circlips. There's one of these at either side. And then the clutch belt can just be prised away as follows. Now the cleaner head assembly can be tilted up, and this can also be lifted away free of the vacuum cleaner. Next, it's the valve pipe assembly, followed by the motor inlet cover. With the vacuum cleaner on its back again, the upper motor cover can now be removed. Next, we need to remove the motor retainer. This can be done using quite a large flat-bladed screwdriver by simply prising away the top motor retainer as follows. Now, by giving the motor shaft a couple of sharp taps, this will remove the motor clear of the motor housing. Now Kevin will disconnect the wires as follows, and then he needs to transfer the motor bearing mount and the fan case seal across to the new motor. Next, Kevin's going to fit the new motor into the motor housing, ensuring that the orientation is correct using the guides. Now he needs to reconnect the wiring, making a note of how they came off. And it's important when fitting the motor into the housing that the wiring is placed above the motor brush. This ensures that the motor seats flush when it's in the motor housing. If the wiring isn't above the motor brushes, then the motor won't fit into the motor housing far enough. Next we can replace the motor retainer. And then we can refit the upper motor cover as follows. Now he can refit the screws. With all the screws in place, Kevin is now going to fit the cleaner head assembly as follows. Next is the cleaner head pivot circlips. Again, remember there's one either side. And then the clutch belt, which prizes on as follows. The clutch cover is next. And once the clutch cover is screwed back into place, then the cleaner head assembly can be placed back on. Next, the axle and the end can be refitted to the brush roll. And once refitted, the brush roll needs to be fitted back underneath the belt as follows. And once in place, can be twisted so that the belt is seated back in the correct position as follows. Once in position, the sole plate can be refitted to the machine. And using the 3 retaining screws, turn again quarter of a turn to secure it in place. Now is the turn for the U-bend to be refitted, and the exhaust filter cover. Next is the valve pipe assembly, and then the motor inlet cover. Remember now to always fit new filters once you've done this job. And once the bin is refitted to the machine, give yourself a dust off and a pat on the back. Well done, Kevin. Thank you.